Hey everyone, welcome to Cool Gamer Dad. I'm Chris Eckert, thanks so much for joining us. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at a rising trend over the past 5 years in gaming, and that's homebrew games. Now for those of you that don't know what homebrew games are, it's a growing group of gamers who like to make their own video games for new and older consoles. And it's helped to keep some of the older systems, like the NES and the Sega Dreamcast for instance, relevant in today's world. Recently at the Midwest Gaming Classic, I had a chance to sit down with Tim Hartman from Retrotainment Games. Their company has been making brand new NES homebrew games for the past couple of years, and their story is about how they're trying to breathe new life into an old system. Video game producer Tim Hartman always had his heart set on the NES.
Funny enough, my dad bought me a Sega Master System. Everybody else in the neighborhood had a Nintendo, so I had to find ways to get over to their house to play the Nintendo, you know, whether it was a sleepover or a party, something like that.
That passion continued into his adult years, when he and the team at Retrotainment Games in Pittsburgh sought out to build their own video game from the ground up. Doing that on the NES did have its challenges.
You know, the system is a blessing and a curse. There's limitations, but that's a curse because you can't do too much. But it's also a blessing because it keeps you within constraints so you can't go crazy and overdevelop.
What they developed was their first game, Halloween '85. The game takes place in the fictional town of Possum Hollow on Halloween night in the year 1985. The town is haunted, and you play as the hero, Donnie, and have to fight your way through the game's 6 levels to restore peace and order to the town. Hartman and his team had one goal in mind: make a game that played on the original NES.
Our ultimate goal was to get something that was playable and paid homage to the NES in terms of quality on a cart. That was our goal. And then from that we realized there's just a lot of people that want to play retro games.
The success that followed took Retrotainment's team by surprise.
It was overwhelming, actually. We weren't prepared, to be honest. We were at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and that was in 2015, the October of 2015. And we took, you know, whatever we could get on the plane. And we sold out of all the cartridges. And we thought, okay, well, this is interesting.
And it kept on growing from there.
You know, we knew people bought games and we knew people supported the homebrew, but we didn't know how much people would support, you know, our game.
Now the game is worldwide.
We were meeting so many people at shows that a lot of young kids didn't have the actual hardware, so we took it to Steam, you know, which was a cheap alternative for people that didn't have the actual hardware.
Right.
And it sold well on Steam, and we thought, okay, well then Xbox approached us and said we'd like to have the game on there, which was very humbling, very thankful. And thankfully, it's in 40 countries on the Xbox One right now. So it's really taken on a life of its own.
Now, along with Halloween '85, Retrotainment Games also has a sequel to it, aptly titled Halloween '86, that continues the story from the first game. Retrotainment Games also has a new NES game coming out in 2019 called Full Quiet. It's an open-world mystery game where your son is missing in the woods and you have to go find him. You can find out more about Retrotainment Games and how to obtain copies of their video games by visiting their website, and you'll find a link to that in the video description below. Thanks again for watching Cool Gamer Dad. We are a presentation of PoundButtons.com. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and check out some of the other videos that we have. We'll see you next time.